Back on the Monza. We got an oil change to do. Gonna fix that pesky starter. Then the old rule book says I gotta do a couple things to race in that there SCCA. Gotta have a window net. So I'm gonna do the right thing and put one in that's made for a roll cage with a hoop, because I don't have a hoop on my roll cage. Then apparently you gotta have a window. So I'm gonna do the right thing and just take this piece of plastic and make one. I'm sure it'll work great. Guy's not supposed to have foreign objects in these here race machines, so Bradley's gonna do me a favor and clean out all the junk in here. Cause, well, to be honest, it takes me about 17 minutes to dip in, and then it takes me another 23 to snag out. So I'm gonna have him do that, and while he's doing that, I'll change on the oil here. You know, Mark Martin himself, he put together this engine. No, he didn't. But I have a feeling this one's going to be just as slow. I'm going to snag out the oil, I think, first, and then I'll get to the starter. And I'm kind of liking the height here, because the guy can just kind of lean on her and then, you know, blow the old D14 out back here. Man, it's dirty in here still. What is this thing? Just about shattered my Little Rock, Texas, getting the oil filter loose. Fellers, you don't gotta just Arnold Schwarzenegger these things on there. They just, you know, they don't need a lot. Goodness gracious. Oh, I just spilled gallons everywhere. It's fine. Ooh, chocolate pudding. You know, since this is a race car and all, you gotta be really particular with the engine oil you choose. So I'm gonna go with the cheapest diesel oil I can find, and particularly the one with the flag on her. And this one says Premium Blue 8600 ES, which, if I was a scientist, that sounds like something I would say. And I don't know how much this little guy needs, so I'm just going to go with all of it. Bradley got the old interior cleaned out and found a few goodies. We got the old air directional control unit, but she's broke. Some other good stuff, barbecue grate, maybe even an oil filter, not sure. Horn button. Boop, boop. And then I'm gonna guess, just maybe, she might burn a little bit of oil. Them are still good actually, so I'm gonna hang on to them units. But I think I'm gonna have them get the Mousesucker 500 in here and clean out some of this leaves and dirt, and that way she's not just a blow and stuff, you know, out around the track, because you know she's gonna hit 38 miles an hour. And it's pretty dirty. I might have to replace the old battery box too. Dang it. I'm really procrastinating putting the old starter in, so instead I'm just making a huge mess. I even cleaned the shop back up finally, because the mouse smell is getting real bad. Got the tank in here. I think it's like in there. I just heated this up to about 86.7 million degrees and, you know, bent her around, slammed a new hole in there. And it's, you know, it's tight. Got about 1.5 threads, and that should work just fine. So this looks pretty good, but I think I am going to get the Jerry house out of there. But that's worser than putting the starter in, so I think I'll actually go ahead and do that now instead. Dang it. I always like to compare on these just so I don't struggle putting the wrong one in for 82 minutes. It's not like I've ever done that, but okay, a lot. But anyway, although this one says it's okay, it's not. And surprise is bad, because that's out of a junkyard, and that's usually really good equipment. So we'll throw this one in there, and got me another good rebuild from China, so you know it's gonna work great. You ever notice how, no matter what car you're working on, it always seems like those engineers just, you know, they like to mess with you. They like to put a bolt in a place that just, it makes absolutely no sense. So you got to fight fire with fire. That has nothing to do with anything right now, and it's not applicable in any way, but I just like saying it. There's a few different kinds of racing nets, you know, and there's the spring kind. She's spring loaded and pushes back, she'll come down. Then you got the really nice buckle kinds, like a seat belt. And then you've got the really dangerous trap me in the car, which is just the old cotter pin and rod style. So I did the right thing and got the cotter pin and a rod style. And this particular configuration, I mean, she's really not going to work for what I got, but I'm going to take the bottom bar and put her on the top, and then take the top bar and put her on the bottom. And I think what I'm going to use for mounting hardware is just some big nuts and just Zeus them to the old ceiling and door here. And, I mean, that ought to work just fine. The goal here is just the guy's arm can't be doing this when I'm going to roll it next weekend, and I agree, that'd be kind of nice. Alright, so something like this, maybe. And over here, yeah, just like that. So I'm just zinging these on like that, and this one back here, and then it's got two pinholes, so I'll put a, oh, she's hot, pin on this side that'll keep her from going forward, and then I got a cotter key I'll just stick on the other side, and then a guy can boop boop like that. And then down here I'm just going to bring some nuts down here, I think, because I can't weld to this. We'll try to get into the door somewhere back there too, and we got us a window net, I guess. Well, we got ourselves a net for a window, and it ain't pretty, but she's pretty taut. That's good enough, and it's easy enough to get down. Pull the pin, away she goes. That's all that counts, I guess. Moving on to the old winder here. I think my plan, if I ever had one, was we're just going to lay down that plastic, and then I'm just going to take a marker and then we'll just throw her out in the grass, and I'll put a death wheel on this, and I think we'll just melt it into pieces and kind of hope that it fits.
So this is kind of glass, but it's like also plastic?
Yep, plexiglass. There you go. I think this is kind of like hand grenades. You just got to get close enough. Then we'll trim on her. Something kind of like this. And snip down, snag it like this. Alright, let's carry it over the car and outside. Okay. I've never tried this before, so it ought to be really interesting. Okay, let me just dig. Have ourselves a winder. Hear that? That's factory. Okay. Boom. Look at that. Well, learn from a feller's mistakes. You're going to want to pre-drill these guys. And that's what I did, and I ran self-tappers. That's how this started. I just ran a screw through and blew her out, and then when I was carrying her, yep, she snipped. I drilled a hole up here to try to stop that. If that don't work, I'll call Safe Light and see if the old insurance will cover her. But now that I got these in, I'm going to bring them all back out, and we'll peel the stuff off and then snip it back on again. There. Down. Brand new winder. Run these screws back in and call it good enough. Finished product. It's pretty good. Let's see how she runs. I might put a down the center there to keep her from vibrating. But good enough anyway, I think. Rary's gonna take the tire off here. Since we got her up in the air and all, we're gonna get in here, take a look at this coil spring. Because if you remember, this side is really down. And that's good for going lefter, but in rally race, you go left, go right. So we gotta figure out what's going on in there with this guy. Plus, these are really lockage uppage, and I gotta bleed the brakes probably because they're just skidding. Well, they're not heated. Well, the guy hooked his peepers on that coil spring, and she's not cut, and it wasn't torched either, so mind-boggling, but someone actually spent the time to figure out the correct spring to put in the front end to get it around the corners, which means the coil spring needs replaced if we're going to do this right. So I'm going to do the right thing and just jam these front coil spring spacers in there, and basically you just get your old socket wrench and extension and you just twist these in that old coil spring, and it claims will restore your height right 1 inch to 1.5, which is probably what we need. And all I'm trying to do is just not cut a steer tire going into turn 3 at 28 miles an hour, because that's disaster. Second option is we'll just get the sawzall out and make her opening a little bit bigger. Well, this is definitely what they don't recommend doing when installing them, stacking them like that, but dang it, the guy just needs to get some lift out of her, and that's what we're going to go with. I'm sure it's going to ride like a radio flyer wagon through a stubble field, but that's okay. She ain't exactly built for comfort anyway. Too lazy to drop it down right now and see, so I'm going to try to get that wheel freed up, and then we'll see what it looks like, I guess. The fluid in that is just nasty, and I'm thinking the stopulator's just got froze because there's hardly any pedal. Brad, hit the pedal. How much is it moving? 1/4 inch maybe? Yeah. So he's going to pump on her, and I'm just going to try to bleed him a little bit, but might have to take those off, and if I do, I'll show you a trick to break them free. This is my Break-A-Later bleed kit 6000. Pretty standard issue. Tip here though is heat this up nice and hot with a lighter, slide it over your bleeder, and then squish it down with your fingers, and then when she cools off she sticks, because one of the problems is these hoses pop off and then you got brake oil doing that. Drill yourself a hole and bingo. It is kind of nice to see when the fluid starts turning clear. And then you want to grease up these pins really good before you start, and I'm going to use some liquid wrench for that, because you want these, you know, they got to do this, and there's some stuff and science in there, but you don't want them froze either. Oh yeah, that stuff looks great. Okay, again. Looks like a septic system after a family reunion. Well, I think we got the calipers broke free. I heard them snap a couple times, so I took my McDonald's cup and cut her in half, because I don't have a turkey baster or one of those fancy get the heck out of their fluid machines. And I dipped her down low, and then we're going to top her off with some fresh oil and smash on them a couple more times, and this is probably going to have the best brakes of any vehicle I own. Right, Brady? There we go. Get on in there. Digging through the old rule book, it says you got to have an exhaust system. So here you go, one exhaust system. I did the right thing and just went to Fleet Farm and bought all the cheapest pieces. That's hot. Bought all the cheapest pieces you could, and you know, just finished welding them together. And I guess the plan is just snip her onto the header and adjust that guy. Even got the Flexolite tailpipe in here, and for some, this is called a muffler. That'll work just fine. Got the old exhaust system mocked up here, and it's ridiculous because race car. There's a few reasons for this. First of all, I want to blow my left eardrum out as much as possible. And then down here, since my fuel lines run right here, I want to make sure that I boil the gas and vapor lock it. And then lastly, let's get a really big exhaust leak up here where it hooks to the header. I mean, she's going to leak worse than a month-old Depends, but I don't really care because now we have an official exhaust system. Hopefully this sprays fire, but it's mainly just going to be blue smoke, I have a feeling. Well, not to brag, but this is the best exhaust system I've ever seen. We had a bolt under here from the seat mount, so I just bent up a little piece of thing and put a clamp on her, and yeah, I mean, it's good. It's most definitely going to beat off of this and rattle and really annoy me, but I think that's going to pretty much meet the purpose. Got her all set down, and by gosh, them $11 spring things worked. I got enough room in here. I got room for days. Won't cut a steer tire off now. And we also slammed an old tachometer in there. Never know. I'd like to see what RPM she's spinning when rings come flying out the exhaust. I guess where we're at now is we'll try to get her fired up again, and maybe I can do some circles. And we figured out what was wrong with the old reverse lever too, is she's welded out. And I think the guy did that so he didn't grab the old go backward gear trying to get a go forwarder gear. So this hasn't run in, I don't know, a month maybe, but it should fire. Fired last time. And then we'll have to push her out backwards and then see what happens. I'm going to go with 6.5 pumps. Something like that. Black velvet, battery, and sparkulators. Nothing. Sparkulator. Battery. Uh-oh. What do we got? Never happens. That's weird. Let's back the timing off. Skosh. Come on now. This will be interesting to see if we have enough leg power to get this done, because the old right front, she's sticking, but I just figure if we run her, maybe it'll grind in and kind of self-clearance. So Bradley and I are going to try to push it out, and if that fails, I'll just get beats and hook a chain on it and drag it out of here. All right, you ready, bud? Oh. Here we go now. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, I've been practicing that. This is the part I can't remember. I think I gotta go this way. Oh. Okay. Ow. like a glove. The old right front's hanging real bad. I think we're actually gonna have to fix that. Dang it. Well, since we've got a catastrophic failure on that guy, I figured it more appropriate to start throwing some stickers on, kind of like this guy. And let me know if you want to see that sticker in the store. I got a guy that sent me that, and I'd be just fine hooking him up. And then over here is all my big sponsors. Got them all listed out, and you know, they're down here and some over there, and these guys, you know. But mainly, thanks to you folks. That's all you guys watching. That's really the sponsor of this bad boy. And when we bring home 12s, you guys, I mean, I'll make you proud. It's going to be good. It's fine. Can't find that caliper. So I think I'm going to shut her down for this episode and try to find one of them. And that's fine, because I got 4 days, you know, after work to fix that, and then should be good to go. Well, thanks for watching. I really appreciate that. If you're not subscribed, it's finally coming. It's next. That's the next one with the Monza. If I got a vice grip off this front brake, I'm running this thing, because I'm tired of putting money and time in it, and I ain't got nothing to show yet. I need one of them 3-inch trophies sitting on my mantle. So let me know what you think of the old girl, and if you've got any ideas what we should do next, go ahead and put them down in the old comment box. And thanks again, guys, for watching. Appreciate it very much. Is it raining again? Come on now!